You must welcome Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and Mama Janet Museveni, Minister of Education and Sports. Let's get ready for the anthems as guided by protocol team. Thank you. I'll invite the Reverend Canon Reverend Canon Newton Byaruhanga, accompanied by leaders Sulaiman Abdul Bwayo, the District Kadi Kiryandongo, and Habib Musa, Supreme Kadi Kiryandongo, to lead the opening prayers.
Shall we pray? Almighty God, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, you have ordained political and cultural leaders to serve your people and lead them peacefully. Enable your servant, the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, fulfill that which you expect of him. Defend all our leaders against all adversaries, that trusting only in your power and defense, they will always be secure and defeat all enemies. Lord God, enable our President always to seek guidance and counsel from you before taking any decision, and enable him defend your church. Lord God, bless Uganda, bless this gathering, guard us, O Lord, and give us peace. And may the cross of the Son of God that unites, and it's mightier than all hosts of Satan, and more glorious than all angels of heaven, abide with us all, and may it protect, unite, and defend us, and may the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with you and remain with you now and evermore. Amen. Thank you.
You may have your seats. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and Mama Janet Museveni, Minister of Education and Sports, you're most welcome. Thank you for setting aside time to honor this accomplishment by the government of the Republic of Uganda, commissioning facilities that were built using a loan facility from the World Bank, but also supplemented by Government of Uganda funds. Those of you who joined late, the facilities His Excellency the President commissioned at are workshops with equipment. This massive building you're seeing behind me was also built using that funding facility. The block right here is an administration block. That one was built using Government of Uganda funds. So is this structure which you're seeing to my left. It's also being built using Government of Uganda funds. There's another, the dormitories there right at the extreme. So where the President was is the lemon green roofed structures there. Very beautiful workshops. Feel free to walk over after the chief guest has departed and see what has been commissioned. Your Excellency, Mr. President, and Mama Janet Museveni, allow me to just give a quick overview of the guests that Mama Janet Museveni invited to be before you here to witness the commissioning of these facilities. You've already seen the honorable ministers that participated in receiving you. We have the district leadership. Kindly raise your arm for recognition. Thank you. We have the members of parliament. We were expecting 3, but represented by Honorable Kalubanga. Thank you for making it. Is the area MP for where we are, Chibanda South constituency. Would also like to recognize the presence of the governing council of the Uganda Petroleum Institute, Kigumba, led by their chairperson, who is also the CEO of the Uganda National Oil Company, Ms. Proskovia Nabanja. Kindly stand for recognition. The entire staff of UPIC, thank you. Mr. President, you have people who do this work. We contracted a company called Ambitious Construction. Kindly wave for recognition. Thank you for a job well done. Your Excellency, we also have representatives from the oil and gas sector. Companies are represented here, several of them. All the fraternity from the oil and gas sector, please wave at His Excellency the President and First Lady for recognition. Thank you for coming. We also have the media with us. We also have Minister of Education, technical team. Please wave to His Excellency the President and our Minister. Thank you for making it. Thank you. We also have the project coordinating unit. These are people who were dedicated to following through the implementation of this project. They were led by Madame Agnes Arach. Kindly PCU, Project Coordination Unit, stand and wave. Thank you so much. And Your Excellency, today is a very special day, not just for UPIC, but it should also be a special day for Mama. Where you're seated, Mama was seated right there in 2019, but it was not it was not a celebratory meeting. She was resuscitating this project to deliver what you see. If it were not for the doing of Mama, deploying her grandmothering skills, motherly skills, it would be a different story. So we appreciate you, Mama. It is a commissioning, but it's also a celebration, because there is always a story behind the fruits that we see. And Mama did a lot to turn this project around. And it was not the only one, but she really, really invested in a lot in this project for us to see these results. So thank you, Mama. Allow me to invite the LC1 chairperson to give welcoming remarks. Now, Your Excellency and Mama, we have a very unique LC1 chairperson here. Right from inception of this project, he was always around without even requesting for an allowance or being paid. He followed through in and out. So this moment is not just out of protocol, not out of courtesy, but really to appreciate his role in this project. Karibu.
Ekiaro Kididima, Omuruka Kigumba Wano Parish, Sub-County, Kigumba Sub-County, Kiryandongo District. Omwembembezi w'eihanga ly'etu Uganda, hamuna mao nyenaitwe Janet Museveni, kandi ali mugatwa w'ebyenyegesa. Abagenyi mu bitinisa byanyu, abanyoro n'abanyoro kati, abagomera hanu, kandi abakyureine. Habo abaikazi abakyaro kino Kididima, kinkwebembera ndi nk'omukuru w'entebe, haidara ly'okubanza, na habo abantu boona, na habo wange, nintangira n'omuhimbo mwingi President waitu hamuna mao nyenaitwe Janet Museveni, okwerekesa emirimu yoona okwijja ha mukolo guno okukingura mu butongole ekyombeko n'ebikwato ebihyaka haitendekero lya UPIC. Nitusiima gavumenti ya NRM eyenkurakurana n'obusinge hawokora kyona kikusoboka okwombeka itendekero lino nekwaraniza n'abakozi ba itendekero lino ya UPIC hamu n'abebembeza b'ekichweka kino, abaikazi b'ekyaro kino Kididima nituraganiza okulinda obusinge n'okukora hamu na UPIC kitusobozesa okugobora mu buheereza bwa UPIC eitendekere tutumbira omutindo gwaitu. Mwebembeza arakurumirwa bunyoro na Uganda yona nitutera omuranga hali abebembeza abandi abayizira hano okwekambisa abaana baitu okusoma amasomo ga science kibasobozesa abaana baitu kusoma emisomo enu eri ha UPIC. Nitusaba gavumenti ekeye ensimbi ezikusasurwa ha itendekero lya UPIC kisobozese abatakwesobora nabo bajje basoma mu institution eno. Mbaire mukuru w'entebe haidara ly'okubanza hawa akasumi kuruga 1987 habwe bwembebeza oburungi bw'ekitinisa kya Yoweri Museveni na NRM omubwire bw'okuseera obururu ndi basirenju hanju n'amaguru n'okugonza okwingi kuseruro w'ekitinisa Museveni obururu kandi nyeteekanize okuseera obururu obururu bwe omwaka gwa 2026. Ndubatira hakigere ekizibu kiri kyamaani muno kurubata hanju ndubatira kigere ni ndubata hanju nimbagondeza omukoro murungi kandi ruhanga bebembere nimugaruka ye hanyuma y'omukoro guno. Mwebale kumpuliza habwa Ruhanga n'ihanga lyange. Nsigaire ndi bya Ruhanga Francis, Chairman LC1 Kididima.
Webale munonga mwami bya Ruhanga Francis, LC1 Chairperson wa Kididima Village, ahu itendekero lyitu lya UPIC Lukushangwa. Thank you very much, Mr. Byarhanga Francis, the LC1 Chairperson of Kididima Village, where this institution is located. I would like to request all persons who are hearing my voice to put on your mask. You tested negative at the time the sample was taken from you, but things may have changed. We don't want you to become positive after leaving here. Kindly put on your mask. If you don't have a mask or it has gotten misplaced, you can step behind. You'll find a health team that will provide you with a mask. Thank you. Because there is a breeze that keeps on changing direction, so we don't want to leave here casualties. Thank you. I would like to invite the principal of Uganda Petroleum Institute, Kigumba, Mr. Ngodia, to give your remarks.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda in absentia here, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Ministers present, Honorable Members of Parliament, the Country Manager, World Bank, Ambassadors present, Permanent Secretaries and other government officials, cultural leaders of Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom, heads of government institutions, heads of international oil companies, development partners, local district leaders, religious leaders, members of governing council of UPIC, members of staff of UPIC, the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, on behalf of the management of Uganda Petroleum Institute Kigumba, and on my own behalf, I take this opportunity to welcome you to Uganda Petroleum, to this institution on this joyous day as you commission some of the facilities that you personally launched when you laid the foundation stone here in 2012. UPIC came into existence following your visionary leadership when you issued a directive in 2009 to start the institution with the goal of training Ugandans and creating adequate manpower at both artisanal and technician levels, which make up the highest number of direct jobs in the oil and gas sector. Your Excellency, this was a very strategic decision that you took, and we are very grateful. Without UPIC, it was going to be very difficult for us to operationalize some of the provisions in the local content framework for the oil and gas sector in this country. In order to execute our mandate, we have developed an institutional strategic plan 2020-2025, and we have made significant strides on the 4 thematic areas in that plan. And I would just want to highlight a few of them. On the aspect of competence training, Your Excellency, our programs have transformed from one generic program. We started with a diploma in petroleum studies to now 2 national diploma programs in upstream petroleum operations, and the other one is downstream petroleum operations. These are accredited by the National Council for Education, and we have mapped the curriculum to international accreditation standards. Your Excellency, UPIC offers 34 international vocational qualifications in 9 trades. That's upstream petroleum operation, downstream petroleum operations, mechanical maintenance, electrical maintenance, welding, fabrication and pipework, instrumentation maintenance, health, safety and environment, steel erecting and rigging, and the other one is scaffolding. Your Excellency, these international vocational qualifications provide different assessment standards. And these include city and guilds. The other one is Engineering Construction Industry Training Board. The other one is Offshore Petroleum Industry Training Organization, and also offer American Welding Society specifically for welding. You will recall, Your Excellency, that previously we had to send trainees to countries like Trinidad and Tobago to attain these international accreditations. I'm happy to report now that sending training abroad is for these basic accreditations is now history. All the accreditations are now offered within UPIC here. Your Excellency, in terms of infrastructure, we developed a master plan in 2030, sorry. And we have made also significant strides in ensuring that we implement this master plan. To date, we are around 52% of the developments in the master plan. I would like, in a particular, in a specific way, to recognize the leadership then of the institution that was led by Professor Charles Kwesiga is with us here, and other government officials like former PS Kalisa Kabagambe is now Senior Presidential Advisor, and the likes of Ernest Rubono. They laid a very good foundation under which we are now enjoying these achievements. Your Excellency, the infrastructure being launched today has been realized through the support of the World Bank under the project. I think this has been alluded by the MC. And under the project, we have done 5 modern workshops. That's the petroleum operations, instrumentation, electrical maintenance, mechanical maintenance, welding, fabrication, and pipe fitting workshops. And in addition is this multi-purpose building, a gatehouse, and a tarmac road. I would like, again, to allude what the MC said, special appreciation to Mama and the Minister of Education and Sports, who personally intervened when this project was not making significant progress. Since then, we have experienced and unprecedented pace of the project implementation, and today we're here celebrating. The World Bank, specifically for the support and guidance throughout the project life, and the Minister of Education and Sports, especially the Project Coordination Unit, for the tireless implementation during the progress of the project. On the other hand, from our direct support from government, we have the halls of residence, the 2 halls of residence. We have the administration block. We have 8 staff houses. Whoever comes here thinks you are in a certain hotel somewhere else, and a classroom block that is nearly completion. The other aspects that are pending within the contract are the ICT facility and the library. These are struggling because of funding. Your Excellency, would need your support to jumpstart, to ensure that we complete some of these projects. But of course, again, the critical part is the road from the Kigumba Masindi junction to the institution. You can see as you're driving here, it's dusty. The ministry made an effort to work with the Minister of Works. We're privileged at a given point in time to have the UNRWA team here visit us to survey the roads, and all of us were happy that the construction works was going to begin. However, to date, we are not seeing any works initiated, And Your Excellency, again, would be very happy if you intervene to ensure that that road is fully tarmac, because it's not good to have a tarmac in the campus and the connection to the campus is a bit dusty. In terms of procurement, Your Excellency, the equipment that you have seen in the workshops is modern and high quality. And this has been validated by most of the training partners, the oil industry, and approved to be relevant for training in the oil and gas sector. This state-of-art equipment has enabled us also fast-track the accreditations that I highlighted earlier, and also reduce the burden on us finding placement for on-job orientation. So within the classroom arena, there are small exercises that you're supposed to give the students, which could probably last a day. This now you can do it here as opposed to taking students to the industry. The gap is now on the on-job training, which usually takes a period of about 3 months. So that you can do it if you have a fully-fledged facility that offers apprenticeship, or else you have to take the students to the industry. We therefore, one, need to match the quantities of some of the items, because much as we have the equipment there, the quantities don't match the students' ratio. So there could be need to add additional equipment. The other one is we need to upscale our training. Excellency, you're asking me, are this equipment for manufacturing or they are for training? For currently, what we have is equipment for training. So if we have to move to the next level, that's even level 3 in training, then we need to buy additional equipment for that purpose. Your Excellency, there is need for affirmative action on the job training for both trainees and the trainers. The current legal regime doesn't seem to compel industries to accommodate trainees undertaking on-job training. Most do it as a gesture of goodwill, while a few do it as a matter of company policy. There is therefore need to review and update our legal regime to address the above challenge. In terms of the drilling rig, Madam Mama, I remember when you were here, that was one of the questions you asked me. You said there was a rig that was donated to this institution by then Talo, and you wanted to know the progress. I must say that now that there's been some movement of that rig in terms of approvals from the Petroleum Authority to allow CNOC move it to Uganda Petroleum Institute, Kigumba. And we have also identified a site. So the initial preparations will be the preparation of a drilling pad, and I've been assured by CNOC that by the end of this year, we should have that rig here. Your Excellency, that rig could cost in the range of over $100 million US. So it's not a small achievement. It's something that we need to recognize for those who have given it to us, and also ensure that we secure that rig when it comes here. You can see now the institute is in a porous area, no fence. So that's an area we need to tackle going forward. And we have also launched discussions with people who have been doing it, the training in rig drilling, like Aberdeen Drilling School, just to prepare modules so that when the rig comes here, we are ready to offer service to the oil and gas industry in this country. On this particular note, I thank the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development and the Petroleum Authority of Uganda for their intervention on this matter. In terms of capacity building, Your Excellency, to guarantee quality delivery of training programs, the Institute, with the support of the Ministry, recruited talented and competent young men. And these have continued to undertake continuous professional development. Recently, we sent about 26 of them to for 5 weeks offshore training in IFP facilities in France. The training, I must assure you, was a bit vigorous and enabled our trainers get the requisite skills on how to deliver competence-based training for the sector. The impact of this exposure is visible and positive, and we look forward for more similar opportunities. In terms of welfare, Your Excellency, the Institute Master Plan again provides for 37 staff houses. That's with 111 rooms, but only 8 houses that you see there have been constructed so far. There is therefore need for additional housing units to accommodate our staff who currently commute from mainly Kigumba town. And the other aspect is the need for affirmative action to retain our highly trained staff to ensure that they are not taken up by the oil companies. Currently, there is movement of talent from industry to the oil to the authorities, and I've also seen some of my people trying to cross over. We appreciate that the startup structure established UPIC envisaged this fact and provided for a modest retention allowance. However, the startup structure can no longer address the current establishment needs, both in terms of the number of staff and remuneration. The Governing Council submitted a proposal to the Minister of Education and Sports, and we need this to be fast-tracked. Your Excellency, as you are aware of your promotion of the SACCOs in this country to improve the pillars of government prosperity for all programs, our staff also have formed a SACCO, and they deliberately told me, among all the things that you will present to Your Excellency, please request Excellency to jumpstart their SACCO as well. In terms of enrollment, Excellency, we started from a small number of 28 students. Today, we have trained over 1,396 students, of which 392 have done the diploma programs I mentioned earlier, and the rest have done the international vocational qualifications. Our graduates who have seen are able to find employment in the oil and gas related companies, and some have started their own small-scale production units, especially in the welding trades. Some companies employing the graduates are here today. I was told by somebody from Slambaj that they have just taken about 5 of our students, and we had a discussion with them sometime that even the recruitment of some of the employees should be done on campus here. For me, that's already a vote of confidence on our services. The other ones, of course, are the UNOC, Total Energies, and URI has also taken most of our graduates. Those are just a few, but quite a number of them. In terms of our financial performance, Your Excellency, with the competing priorities under public expenditure, it is not easy to actualize rapid growth, especially in infrastructural development as desired. For what we have achieved so far, I acknowledge commitment exhibited by government. Our budget performance between 2009 and 2019 was on average 63.8%. With onset of global COVID pandemic in 2020, these understandably deteriorated to zero releases in some quarters, in some of the budget lines. Constrained cash flows have some ramifications in our preparations as we position ourselves to produce enough technicians for fast oil and beyond. Your Excellency, it's important to note that globally, petroleum training institutions like UPIC are either directly managed under a training levy or a training fund, or supported by national oil companies. We have seen it in Malaysia under Petronas, or a combination of government grants, development partners, and students' contributions, etc. Given that the oil and gas industry is still emerging in this country, the number of such funding options are still limited, and hence the heavy reliance on direct government funding. In terms of the governance, happy to report that we have deliberately made attempts to interest key personalities in the oil and gas sector in the governance of this institution. I think, Excellency, you had the chair of the governing council is from a national oil company, and the majority of them are one way or the other related to the sector. This, in one way, has enabled us position ourselves within, align ourselves in the sector, but also strengthen our partnership with the oil companies. As a result, we have signed memorandum of understandings with key players like Total Energies, Sinok Uganda Limited, Unox Lambaji, UTP Petronas, and we have also been able to win a few contracts directly to train companies, directly to train for these companies, as evidenced by the table I'll not go through, Excellency. But most importantly, recently, we trained a significant MOU with Total Energies to train 201 potential production technicians for the Tilenga project. This is a unique one in that Total will be with us slightly for about 3 years, and the training will be phased. The first 6 months, our instructors will be the ones lecturing, and the next 6 months, there will be a combination between the expatriate instructors and our own instructors, and subsequently they will now go for offshore training for a period of 1 year. For me, it's a unique opportunity for capacity building of our people, at the same time employability of our Ugandans. In addition to supporting our trainees through scholarships, oil companies have gone ahead to enhance our training capability by providing tools. For example, Slambaji has offered to give us a petrol software. Excellence, the petrol software costs around 2 billion. So this is not a mere achievement. And as I said earlier, recruitment of our graduates. We have also had a pledge from Sinok to support the computer hardware that will support that hardware. This among the few close partners we are working with. But again, Total, when it comes here, they have also pledged to provide equipment to close the gaps, especially in the electrical workshop. The electrical workshop currently can offer training to up to low voltage, but the industry requires that we train to high voltage as well. Your Excellency, the successful execution of above project is a manifestation of your vision for UPIC coming to life, and what we are doing what we are meant to do the right way, and only need to consolidate and keep improving. Your Excellency, I would like to sincerely thank again the outgoing Governing Council chaired by Nabanja and the group chaired by Nabanja for providing oversight and strategic guidance that has enabled us achieve what I've highlighted above. In terms of the projects, the bursary scheme, Your Excellency, I'm happy to report that we have so far successfully trained 627 out of the 771 students from the Albertine region, who were fully sponsored by the government of Uganda under the ARS Albertine Region's bursary scheme. In addition, the government of Uganda offered bursaries or subsidies of 80% on trainees course for another 200 students who have also been trained successfully in international vocational qualifications in the 5 trades I'd highlighted above. These scholarships are very important because they present lifetime opportunities to financially disadvantaged Ugandan youths that would otherwise never directly join the oil and gas sector. Because the cost of training at UPIC, I think as the chairperson also highlighted, slightly higher because it has a component of consumables. We therefore thank the government of Uganda together with the sponsors in the private sector for making this successful and request for more subsidies in terms of training. In terms of conservation, Your Excellency, today you have planted a tree. When Mama came here, I was directed to plant those trees. I'm also happy to report that UNOC has partnered with us on the Go Green campaign. I've planted a few trees, and I've also promised to plant over 3,000 trees potentially this financial year. In terms of the future plans, the strategic direction of UPIC is to diversify into a fully-fledged energy institution covering aspects of energy, especially renewables. This is not a mere global trend, but a sustainable way. Considerations at a higher level needs to be made to probably rename the institute to Uganda Energy Institute, Kigumba, in order to accommodate the devastation and the discussion on energy transition. The change in name is also important because we have experienced a tendency of partners shying away from collaborating with us due to our perceived exclusivity in fossil fuels. Your Excellency, allow me just highlight few areas of improvement. Given that we are running with time, you know you presided over FID last year, and the roadmap for fast oil is now known. Our priorities need to be needs to be resolved, needs to be addressed quickly, and also the bottlenecks should be removed so that we are able to offer service to the oil and gas industry. Among these are inadequate funding. I don't think, Excellency, I'll emphasize on this, but we have experienced a significant dwindling in financing from a budget of 8.5 billion in some years to 2.7 billion this financial year. This is not a good one, especially that we have only done 50% of our master plan. Some infrastructure projects that we are seeing behind here have stalled for 2 years. Our requests therefore government prioritizes one of the projects that was supporting that exited the PIP, and therefore we should prioritize that that project should be reinstated. In addition, we have seen that funding mechanisms already highlighted in other parts of the world are varying. And I think we need to have affirmative action for UPIC. The other aspect is the need to review the legal regime to ease formation of business units for centers of excellence to facilitate income generations. In the past, we had the council had approved the formation of UPIC holdings to do business on behalf of the institution. When we sought clarification from Solicitor General, we're told that the law is not allowing us to do that. So probably we need to harmonize the policy aspects that allow us to do business and the laws governing the training in this country. Additionally, we need additional workshop equipment needs to be procured so that we can upgrade training to level 3 or apprenticeship for that matter. We have a national backbone infrastructure, NITAU, up to the main building, and hence we need to extend this to all the facilities on campus. The ICT infrastructure is that we have now, it's becoming obsolete. Some of the equipment was bought by Professor Kwisiga, and we're still using it, so we need to look into the computer aspects as well. The security within the campus, Your Excellency, is very key. The equipment we have is pricey and very relevant for us to achieve what we're doing now here. So we need to really fence these 200 acres of land. And the other aspect, we need probably to upgrade the guard post into a police post in UPIC here. The other one is the transport. The bus we see here has been with us also for 11 years. We need to, and we have a minibus also same age. We need to upscale this so that we can facilitate means of transport of our students to the field, and they are going for field work. Inadequate housing for both staff and students. Your Excellency, those hostels now can only accommodate maximum 300 students, and yet our plan to scale it to around 900 students. So we need additional 4 hostels for our students, given that the demand for our services is now increasing. Excellency had not even highlighted that we are trying to extend our services to the region through Total. We are engaging our brothers from Tanzania so that they can bring their people to train here. I'm told there are no such similar facilities in Tanzania to this level, and the discussions are progressing. So as we discuss with the neighbors, we should also be in position to upgrade our facilities. And the other one is our power outages. With all the power we have in this country, there is the frequent power surges in Kiryandongo district here, and these are impacting our operations and also making us make losses, especially in the equipment. So this needs to be resolved, and we request that through the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, a thorough impacts assessment is carried out aimed at finding a permanent solution. The other one is water. Most of the water we consume is borehole water, and the supply is very unreliable, and it becomes even very difficult for you to explain to an expatriate that such facilities here lack water. So we have planned to drill probably boreholes here, but if a permanent solution for the region, for the district can also be found, we would be very happy. The other one, Your Excellency, Your Excellency, we believe that if the above challenges are addressed, our quest to become not only the regional center of excellence, but a global reference institution for oil and gas training will be realized. As I conclude, I reiterate my sincere gratitude to the government of Uganda for the commitment to develop UPIC into a center of excellence. Your Excellency, specifically for your patronage since inception, the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, not only for the strategic guidance, but also for the personal involvement. As I mentioned earlier, we had bottlenecks, we had issues in the beginning in the governance of UPIC, but when Mama came in, most of these bottlenecks were sorted out. The PS, Minister of Education and Sports, for their tireless intervention whenever we call, the PS, Minister of Education, Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, for all your interventions, especially in expediting the movement of the IGOD rig, the World Bank for the credit support, the ARSDP team for your sleepless nights to deliver this project, the oil companies, the likes of Total, CNOC, UNOC for the partnership and support, the Petroleum Authority for the guidance and support, my governing council for the guidance, strategic guidance, the Kiryandongo district leadership. I'm again happy at this point to recognize the RDCs. When I joined here in 2017, I was told the environment in UPIC was hostile, but the RDC took full control to ensure that I settle in this place. And I think the subsequent RDCs have been supported in ensuring that we don't derail from our goal of developing this institution. All partners in all your capacities. Lastly, Your Excellency, in a special way, I recognize my incredible staff of UPIC for working tirelessly to ensure that an institute of international repute is operationalized in Uganda. I recall one time I met one of the companies when I was in Minister of Energy. We referred that company here. And when he came, what they did was to establish their own institution. But when I joined here, I asked, they called for a meeting. I asked, they say, Bernard, we need to meet and see how we can collaborate. I say, but who had told you to collaborate earlier, why now? He said, you know, we thought that was a mere government institution, it was going to collapse. But we are now seeing it as a competitor in the training business. So we need to collaborate as opposed to being competitors. So this has not been done alone without the support of my staff. I salute and encourage them to work hard as we strive to attain a full center of excellence status in the oil and gas sector in the country. I say this for God and my country. This is Bernard Ongodia. I'm the third generation of the people that you trained abroad. I did my MSc in Leeds, and also you took me back to do my MBA at Robert Gordon University. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bernard, the principal Uganda Petroleum Institute, Kigumba. Accomplishments observed and recognition of your staff and all those that helped. As I invite the next speaker, who is the LC5 chairperson, Kiryandongo, Honorable Edith. As she gets closer, the Albertine Region Sustainable Development Project, Your Excellency, covers 15 districts. Nebi, Pakwach, Nwoya, Kiryandongo, Masindi, Ulisa, Hoima, Chikube, Kakumiro, Kagadi, Chibare, Ntoroko, Kabarore, Chenjoja, and Bunyangabu. And interventions were made to ensure that all these districts benefit. We extended invitations to all of them, but now the LC5 chairperson for Kiryandongo will give her remarks.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and Mama Janet, Minister of Education and Sports. Your Excellency, allow me invite some few chairmen of the neighboring districts who are here to stand with me as I speak. Chairman Masindi, Bulisa, Your Excellency, tusemereirwe muno habw'okwijja kwawe kandi noweizira wenka otatumire okwijja okutongooza amaju n'ebikwato ebyotuwongeiremu mu itendekero lino erya Uganda Petroleum Institute. Webale muno okwijja hamu na maama kandi tukusaba Mukama w'embabazi abahereze emigisa nyingi mweyongere okwekulembera Uganda kandi nebirunge bikwisana biti bije mu Uganda yaitu. Omukuru w'eihanga hano nyina chairman wa Masindi Honorable Cosmas Byaruhanga kandi nimba na vice chairman wa Bulisa
Honorable Tibasima Gilbert.
Honorable Tibasima Gilbert. Echo nikioleka nti itendekero linu tiliriria iti tuwenka abantu ba Kiryandongo beito liriria abantu bona ababunyoro na Uganda yona. Bagenzi bange mwebale kuija. Mama Janet tukwenda tukusime abwe kwekulembera kurungi Minister of Education. Tukwataniza hamu na Minister of Education, Minister of Energy, kurora nti omulimo gwa hanu gwagenda maiso kurungi nene enkurakurana itwina kyalero erugire mu kukwataniza hamu nokoragana. Webale muno. Omukuru w'eihanga tukusiima habokwa itwa hano Kiryandongo na Bunyoro totuhaire institution enu yonka baitu tuina Kiryandongo Technical Institute, tuina Uganda Cooperative College, tuina eiwakatuha Bunyoro Industrial Hub. Bunyoro Industrial Hub omukuru weihanga tumazire okora graduation yokubanza kandi Kiryandongo ekafuna mama 20 na ma districts gandi. Hali nkubaliriza habo burungi bwa training egyo abana tubaine hanu nabo bayizire okujumbira omukoro gwa leero kandi baino kunira kwa amani nabo kujja kweyongera okutendekebwa mu Uganda Petroleum Institute hano. Oiro ni basaba babanguhiza omulingo gw'okutaha hano nuko nabo baganurwemu beyongera obukugu. Omukuru weihanga ntusima kandi neitagirya university elyo ikirize ntirije hano Kigumba Uganda Cooperative College. Tukusima already tuboine task force eroho tukumanya nti omulimo gugenda kuangua gugenda omaiso. Omukuru weihanga kuruga institution eno itendekero lino walituhaire habairemu omulimo murungi kandi nebinge bitukugasamu tukuli kutendeka abana baitu bonka baitu community enu efunira akatale akaamani akokuhayo ebyokulya byabu kandi nabasuubuzi abekishweka kinu bakuba ne bakurakurana nenkurakurana endi eraba neija ha institution enu. Tukusima abwa workshops zini 5 ekyo kikuoleka nti eidara lyokutendeka likuija kweyongera haiguru kandi nokutendeka kukuija kuangua. Webale muno Your Excellency habo kugonza Uganda kugonza abantu ba Kiryandongo na Bunyoro yona. Your Excellency itwe nka district tuinaho ebintu ebimu ebitaito ebigenzere nibitusobaho kandi nturora tutaina obusobozi obukumara okubyeikiyaho awo noto okusabira obusagiki. Your Excellency Kiryandongo Technical Institute kurugo mwaka gwa 1983 abana baitu abahabwa sponsorship ya government bata 50 kuruga nobwo kwika kya lero awo noto kusabira otuongere mamani obusagiki hakiro tuikiza abana 10 abarafunaga sponsor kuruga mu government nuko abayingi batendekwe. Your Excellency abana baitu barafuna skills baja kufuna emirimo kandi nobugaiga nho burayizira aja kuba hekietago ekyobwomezi bwabu kurolerwa kurungi awo nonkuletera waitu mkuru weihanga lino eirwaro lyaitu lya Kiryandongo erinyakuli General Hospital eritaga ni rihereza abantu emitwara 88 n'abantu 45 baita akaire kanu tularulengo rw'abantu emitwaro 5 hata nikioleka nti obusobozi bw'okuhereza abantu abayingi aba refugees abantu abakurugira hantu handi anti bweyale bagirora nti bweyale na Kiryandongo ino opportunities nyingi halimo obusubuzi halimo obusinge abantu bayingi baija hanu kukoleramu omulimo nikiesanga nti abantu bali bayingi muno kandi irwale eryo lita strategic lita highway abantu bandi banguirwa kuruga patch ni baija abakurabaho accidents zindi zona okimanyire kurungi nti tubonabona ebikwato biribike kandi n'amani gaitu gali hansi. Tukusaba waitu otwimukize irwale eryo harefaro highway hospital nuko kisobole kutuyamba kurungi mukuhereza abantu bawo bona. Waitu emyaka nka 20 enyuma okaragira nti abantu baawe bakibyama na Nubian community babatwale batekanire mu ranch number 11 hanyuma yebizibu baito okuruga ogwo bwona abantu babo banu tibakatekanaga abantu babo banu bakalemesebwa obuyambi bwesimbi obukubapimira amataka nokubahereza kubateera y'amaizi oruguudo nebindi nuko batekanireyo kandi omanyire waitu mukuru weihanga nte ikikara muno kifoka ibale tuina okutuntura n'okutiina nte kiwabahaire kisa kufoka ibale tukusaba mukono gwawe kutekanisa abantu abo mukuru weihanga habintu ebime bitutalibanize tuina itaka likoto Masindi Pota haine enyanja aho likabalirirwa mkwano hataka ile kano liliri akafo sugar rundi rai companies itaka liliri nka square kilometers square miles 16 likaraho emyaka kuruga omwaka gwa 19 tibakalikozessaga abantu bayingi abaina mate barugira hali bakarugire bona nibayijura naho nibatalibaniza abalimi ebyokulya byabo byona nibiribwa ekyo kiretereizemu conflict ya amani hagati y'abalisa na abalimi bebyokulya hatarugira hao alone endwaire ezente zirugira hao tukusaba waitu mukama waitu okutuyamba investor ogwo kumuleta akakose itakero rundi kitalekyo abantu baitu babasabulizingire tuina mulingo gutulibasiremu twagena no mwa prime minister na hantu hona baitu investor takazokiragaho agati ye itakeryo alime itakali ya sub county lya health center 3 eryo nalyo akalisibira munda otiyambe ekekizibu kirugo mukuru weihanga tugenda kusagika itendekero lino habwensonga egyo abantu baba banu bona bayizire nkekyo kurorwaho ekyo kusagika abantu ba Kiryandongo ekituka abantu serolire mbayizi lero hatu muyaga gukozereki gukinagire batusembeize byokulya tutasera kandi kututera hamunwa itwena tuimukira hamu tusagike itendekero lino kawe okuguru kukoraki kukutweke enku itendekero lino liriria itu kituyambira okugenda aheru kusera halabana baitu bara trainingira kankuoleka abantu abamu abetuizire kuoleka obusagiki bunu ankusima ba members of parliament baita bali hanu ba honorable ministers ankusima state minister waitu wa Bunyoro affairs ogotatulekera ali hanu kajugumbya tuina ba district councillors bona kusaba bemere mu baroleho tuina hano ba former members of parliament tuina honorable Tampo tuina honorable Duru Jack tuina former chairman district chairman ali hanu honorable Nteiroki Charles waitu tuina chief magistrate hanu tuina ba colleague chairman bano by introducing Giregeira tuina hano chairman wa NRM district tuina obutebe na ba chairman ba NRM sub county bona tuina ba sub county councillors bona bali hanu tuina amakanisa the clergy abo tukozere nabo mulimo murungi ogwingi kandi ntunira baja kujugumbya abana kuija kusoma emisomeno tuina hano governing council ngigyo kusima omulimo murungi gubakora tuina sister institutions nkoko nkugambirege ba technical college ba cooperative na bandi tuina bagurus bona bali hano tuina ba youth tuina bakyara tuina akatebe kabalema, tuina chairman woboinege na bachairman bandi ba LC1s, tuinao hanu etimu ekugonza kandi kwegondezamu abayijukuru bawe kandi bantu mirege nti nkusabe obahereza photo moment otere nabakasani. Owaitu wekitinisa tukugondeza okugarukayo kurungi kandi mukama akwemigisa yona utwale mu maiso Uganda eno tukyakwetaaga obeho ohangale NRM ebeho na Uganda ebeho webale muno.
Webale munonga chairperson LC5 Kiryandongo, Honorable Liguma Edith Ngahurebi agamba harihefu munejangwa ho shango mukama no muramiza. Where you find the king is where you praise the king from, but you can read laying your requests. So please understand when we invite people and they put requests before His Excellency the President, it's not common that they interface with him. As I invite the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education and Sports, to give her remarks, as she walks over, Madam Katie, she's going to give her remarks and also invite Mama. So Madam Katie, please invite Mama as soon as you conclude your remarks. And we really appreciate what has been done with this project. As various people have said, it was a $32 million project, which is about 117 billion shillings. The scholarships that Ongodia talked about were $2 million US, which was close to over 6 billion shillings. So government of Uganda has also been putting in something. Madam Katie, please.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Mama, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Ministers present, Honorable Members of Parliament, Development Partners, Permanent Secretaries and Heads of Agencies, local government officials, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I'm very happy to welcome you to Uganda Petroleum Institute Kigumba. And I thank you for honoring us with your personal presence to commission these new buildings, these new training facilities at this institute. We are delighted to host you and all our invited guests who have joined us this morning to celebrate this milestone. Today's event is very significant in our journey towards transforming skills development in this country. UPIC is earmarked to be transformed into a center of excellence for oil and gas related training. This is in line with the Skilling Uganda strategy and plan, which strongly advocated for building centers of excellence to supply manpower for specific economic sectors. Your Excellency, the Albertine Regional Sustainable Development Project, the ARSDP, was designed to support the activities related to oil and gas discovery and production in the Albertine region. The project was implemented in 3 components. The first component focused on improving road network connectivity to ease access for oil production and was implemented by UNRWA. Component 2 focused on urban development in the Albertine region and was implemented by Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. And component 3 focused on improving access to and upgrading skills in the Albertine region for oil and gas, and this was implemented by the Ministry of Education and Sports. The facilities you have just mentioned were constructed under component 3 of this project to kickstart the processes of transforming UPIC into a center of excellence in oil and gas training. The workshops have been constructed in line with the improved curricula in response to the current demands of the industry. In addition, a number of other complementing facilities have been constructed, and these included a 1.2 kilometer road, which starts from the main gate to the workshop area, a 4-floor multipurpose hall, a water supply and sanitation sewage treatment scheme, the main gate of the institute, street solar lights, paving of the parking yard and compound of the administration block, and a generator house with heavy voltage generator. The total cost of these investments was $15,575,312, which is equivalent to approximately Uganda shillings 57,332,256,213 shillings. I would like to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to thank the World Bank for not only extending funding for this project, but for the continuous guidance that they provided to ensure that this project succeeds. The project also supported the Institute to gain international recognition through a number of accreditations. UPIC gained accreditations from City and Guilds from the United Kingdom, Offshore Petroleum Industry Training Organization, OPITO, from the United Kingdom also, and Engineering Construction Industry Training Board from the United Kingdom, and also IFP training from France. Your Excellency, these accreditations have put Uganda Petroleum Institute and the country at large onto the world map and as one of the prestigious training centers for oil and gas. We are reliably informed that this is the first institute in the East African region to gain international accreditation for OPITO. Thank you. Surveys conducted recently, Your Excellency, indicate that employers from the oil and gas industry are already impressed and satisfied with the competencies and skills being imparted to the learners through the Uganda Petroleum Institute and others. Your Excellency, with these developments, the Ministry of Education and Sports now stands prepared to train and supply qualified Ugandans to compete favorably for job opportunities in the oil and gas sector and to participate in the development of their country. I would like to thank the project team. Your Excellency, we had a project team headed by Ms. Agnes Arach, and I'll request them to stand up again. I thank them for the hard work they put in this project. to ensure that it delivers. And I'm saying this because most of the deliverables of this project were achieved during the difficult time of COVID. So I want to thank them in a special way for the sleepless nights in ensuring that this project succeeds. Thank you so much, Agnes, and your team. Your Excellency, mine was a brief remark, and I would like to thank you very much once again for coming to grace this occasion. I thank you. I've been requested to invite the next speaker. I would like to say something before the next speaker comes. Your Excellency, before I joined the Ministry of Education and Sports, the next speaker, who is our Minister, Mama, informed me that one of her highest priorities was the success of this project. And she did not stop at that, Your Excellency. She engaged in many meetings, many consultations with our development partners, and provided a lot of guidance. And it's because of this that we are here, Your Excellency. So it is with great pleasure, Mama, that I invite you to address us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, honorable ministers present here today, honorable members of Parliament, our partners in development who are here today, our peers for the Ministry of Education and Sports, heads of agencies, religious and cultural leaders, local government leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year to all of you. And may this year bring more hope and peace to each one of us all. I welcome you, Mr. President, to the Petroleum Institute, Kigumba, and thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule to join us to witness this key milestone towards skilling our people. Mr. President, as part of your wider vision to improve human resource capacity, to steer socio-economic development and Uganda's transformation agenda, in 2012, you launched a 10-year BITVET strategic plan, commonly referred to as the Skilling Uganda Strategic Plan. The plan articulated very clearly the direction the country should take to skill its people and unlock their potential for productivity. Since then, the Ministry of Education and Sports has been implementing various projects towards the achievement of that goal. And interventions implemented within these projects have led to improved infrastructure, systems and processes in the delivery of technical and vocational education training in this country. As a result, we are witnessing increasing enrollment in TVET, changing attitudes, and more visibility of the TVET subsector. Mr. President, we thank you for your continued advocacy and support towards investment in skilling Ugandans, which is key to employment and wealth creation. You have personally initiated several skilling initiatives, and many Ugandans have benefited from them, and we sincerely appreciate and celebrate that effort. These interventions are all in line with Uganda's aspirations as outlined in the Third National Development Plan, where it is stated that a country that invests in its human capital secures its future. As a sector, we now see skills development positioned as a strong pillar in our national aspirations to unlock the productivity potential of our youth in this country. In fulfillment of the NRM Manifesto 2021 to 2026, commitments to deliver on this aspiration, 6 BTVET institutions are being upgraded to become centers of excellence, offering internationally recognized certificates, as you've just heard from our Permanent Secretary. These are UTC Kichamba for construction industry, UPIC, which is Uganda Petroleum Institute Kigumba for oil and gas industry, UTC Elgon for building technology, Bukalasa Agricultural College for crop and animal husbandry, UTC Ushenyi for food processing and food manufacturing, and UTC Lira for road drainage and bridges construction. Now, establishment of these centers of excellence will go a long way in addressing the issue of quality of our graduates, as well as establish a connection between the skills acquired in formal education and jobs available in the working world. We are glad that Ugandans are witnessing the fulfillment of this commitment here at UPIC today. With these facilities, we are now confident that we have the required facilities and technical expertise to produce the relevant and quality workforce for the oil and gas sector. Let me take this opportunity, therefore, to extend my sincere gratitude and appreciation to our partners, especially the World Bank, and all our private sector partners for their financial, technical, and professional contribution towards the successful completion of this facility. Ladies and gentlemen, I also wish to acknowledge the collaboration and support from various government ministries, departments, and agencies and institutions who have tirelessly worked with my ministry to ensure that these facilities are successfully completed. I must also thank the Permanent Secretary and her technical team in the Ministry of Education and Sports for successfully coordinating the implementation of this project. I urge the Institute now, the management, to take care of these facilities in order for them to serve the current and future generations. Please utilize the facilities to ensure that learners are properly skilled in order to satisfy the demands of the working world. I have listened to the principal as he narrated some of the components of the project that are not yet completed and some of the needs this institute still have, and we're going to work with other sectors in government and the president himself, who fortunately is here and has listened to himself, to see how we can ensure that all those components of this project are completed. And I'd like to urge you still, the principal, to continue to plant more trees, because you can see in dry season, this place can really be dry. So you need more trees. And there are tree seedlings everywhere. You are not short of those. So please make this campus full of real good Ugandan trees so that we can have the windbreaks in this campus, and when it's dry, there can be shades on the campus. So continue to do that, don't stop, and I call upon all the political leaders, all the religious and cultural leaders, all the parents and the community at large to encourage our youth to take advantage of this opportunity and acquire skills that can help improve their employability and livelihood. I want to thank you all once again for coming and wish you God's blessings in this new year, and it is my singular honor and pleasure to invite the President to address you. Thank you, and God bless you indeed.
The Honorable Minister of Education and the other ministers, members of Parliament, all the other leaders, and the religious leaders, and all people have been invited. Africans have had a lot of problems, and they normally reflect some of those problems into the names they give to the children. For instance, one of our children here is called Arach, which in Luo means something bad, or bad or what. But Arach has now become a bear. Arach means bad, a bear means good. The implementer of her name is Arach. Umurinyorecho nchibaza suta Arach ni bamugamba bata. Owakabi ninga mubi owakabi. Omubi. Omusti mulunyu nkogo bagamba nti mubi. So I want to congratulate the Ministry of Education. I want to congratulate Mama here and the people who have been involved for implementing these projects. Thank you very much. I also want to thank the World Bank for the support they gave. Banco Mundial, that's what they call them in Spanish and Portuguese. Who is the Banco Mundial? Are they here? There's nobody here. I want to thank them for the support. However, I really want to tell you that the problem here is bad planning by the overall government structure. Because this money we are talking about, $32 million, is not such a big amount of money, given the importance of Kigumba Petroleum Institute. The question is, how many oil projects do you have? We have this one now in the Mwitanzige Valley. Mwitanzige is the one they call Albert So, it is the project we have, which will give us billions of dollars in a few years' time, and it needs support of training, which we planned that it should be provided by Kigumba Institute. Why would we have a problem funding it fully? I don't see any problem myself. It's not a lack of money. It is a lack of planning by the Ministry of Planning and Foresight and Wisdom and all that. Because how can you fail to plan, to spend money in order to get more money in a fairly short time? Maybe some of the people are here, like is Rwanda here? Or who is here from Ministry of Energy, other than the minister? The civil servants who are there. You go there, the microphone. What's your name?
Excellency, I'm called Hane Malinga.
Oh, okay, Malinga. Now, when the oil starts flowing, how much money will Uganda be earning from the oil?
I don't
per year.
I don't have the figure now, but as it starts, we start with small, but with certain time, the figure becomes bigger.
Do you have any information? Is that the PS or what? Or no?
This is
PS. No.
Your Excellency, my name is Penny Nahebwa. And I
Penny, yes. Penny amanje bibaro muno. Ono mwana munyoro kati.
Ego, Your Excellency, Banzara Masindi, the mwana munyoro. Your Excellency, the question you have asked, the money that goes to government comes in, or the benefits that come to this country come in a number of forms. It comes
the total, not the details.
Yes, okay.
Per year.
Yeah, before going there, I wanted to show that there are other avenues that we are going to benefit from, even before oil starts flowing. Before oil starts flowing, if we have Ugandans that are qualified, that can provide goods and services, we estimate that the $15 billion that is going to be spent, 40% of that is going to be retained in this country. Okay, webale muno, Your Excellency, kimbaye ningeza ugamba nti amafuta gatakatandikire n'okuruga hansi aroho omulingo okuruga mu itaka. Aroho omulingo emiringo nyingi itugenda ganyurwamu nka Uganda abana baitu baraba herimo n'obuturahereza the goods and services ebikwetagisa tukubaramu nti companies zino zigenda kuspendinga esente zikwika $15 billion.
Mutagama usente zanyu za abanyoro. Zino 15 billion za bali abajungu.
Hati out of that kuruga $15 billion ezo abana baitu baraba emirimo tukasupplyinga ebyokulya construction materials, we get some contracts 40% of that $15 billion, which is, I think, around...
about 7 billion.
Yes.
6 billion.
Is going to remain in this country. Now, that is one way we are benefiting. The other way is when oil now starts flowing. What goes to government depends on the oil price. Your Excellency, if we take the oil price of around $65 per barrel, I think we know the oil price is between 70 and 80. It is oscillating around there. But if we assume an oil price of around $65 per barrel, this country will be getting, at peak, around $2 billion on an annual basis.
Per annum?
Per annum, yes.
Okay, now you hear over pen. Thank you very much, Malinga. Thank you. Now you hear, you can hear the bad planning. Penny has told us, Penny Hewa, that is her name, has told us that now, even before the oil has started flowing, these oil companies are going to invest $15 billion in Uganda. And out of that, 40% will come here. And 40% of 15 billion is like 6-7 billion. So, how can you say that you lack 8 billion shillings per year, which is, I think, $2 million or something like that, about $2 million, in order to earn $7 billion. How can you plan like that? So, all these little things, as Mama said, the Lamentations. There is a book in the Bible called Lamentations, or Kuchura. That book of Lamentations. Octonzia. How do they say it in Lamentations? Empamo. Nbatere empamo. Okay. I used to read the Rinyoro Toro Bible until 1957, before your parents were born. When they translated the Rinyankore Richiga version, 1957, nkawa nisoma Bible Rinyoro Toro. So empamo, so she has reminded me, empamo. Okshura, eborogo. I think the Wanyankore will call it eborogo, ningoktonzia. You make the proper plan. I don't want to hear that we are now here at level 2. We hope to go to level 3. Go to level 3 now and plan now. Ebi byokuchura mbirekeraho. Ebi empamu. You tell me, if other people are confused, me I'm not confused. Because this is small money to get bigger money, and quickly, not Kosencha or what, just today almost. Ebyabahuma numbimanya. Abahuma bakwata amata matoito agakamire amakamo otukamu tutoito bateko mate agabakweta mashunu muri Nyankore, fresh milk, batekamo akantu kake nibakete enkamyo ekisabo kyona kifoka amakamo because of the small enkamyo yotairemu abanyore bino bachamanya ningente zikabeba chairperson Kiryandongo ebyente no bimanya. What do they call that small milk you put into the haro abahoma hano abahoma barinka muje mutusomese ebyente muje hano mutusomese omuri Nyoro haro omukazi aratusomesa omukyara ejja tusomese ijambo zindara hari yutusomese ubwo muhimakazi na amanyoro Nyoro ijya hano hamzindaro Orona nagenda mpona kabaho makati iyanjuri izina lyawe nibakweto hiyo.
Your Excellency, amazina nibanyeta Tumukunde Sharon Kiza ndi district councillor ninje Kiregombore amasindpoti.
Hato muri Nyoro enkamyo nibajyata iki muri Nyoro enkamyo
omuntu Nyoro ahaboko bori Nyoro nicyo kimwe no Nyankore still nibajyete enkamyo.
Okay, but nibakimanya abanyoro. Okay, very good. So wobare munongo wobare hati hurura science. You hear the science, our people's old science. They would get small amount of what English don't have words. English don't have enough words like in our languages. Because in Nyankore, you put small quantities of amakamo. Amachunda nago ngakore nkamyo ninga na makamo gongo. Amakamo gonka ninga machunda nago. Okay, so you can see these your ancestors, they had the technology where you get a small quantity of what the English call sour milk, because they don't have words. They call them sour milk. But for us, we have the words. It is either a makamo or a machunda. Small quantity, enkamyo, small. Then they put in a whole gourd, ekshabo, full of fresh milk, amashunu. And within 12 hours, all of it has become a makamo. So really, this is the concept of planning. We need a small enkamyo to get all this big resource turned into money in our pockets. So therefore, even if we were to spend $50 million or 60 or 70 or even $100 million to make Kigumba Petroleum Institute a world-class training center, we shall do it. We have the money. Yes, we have got many needs. Abamu bagonze zokurya. Zokuria Buria. Some of them just want money to travel abroad. To what? We constrain that. We say, stop traveling. The MP is there with you. Tell the civil servants and the MPs, the politicians, stop traveling abroad. Money being wasted in external travel, instead, and here Kigumba is crying for money for the Encamio to get us a whole shower of Makamo. And the ghee, because from the Makamo you can get the ghee, Amajuta. So this is really bad planning. So while I thank the World Bank, thank you very much, but this is not the type of money that we cannot raise ourselves. So therefore, this story is going to end in the new plan for the full, all these initial things you're talking about. What do you call this one? Staff houses, ICT lab, all these little things, fence that you are staying outside, the hyenas are coming and visiting you, and we may hear one day that the hyena has taken one of the students. How would you explain that? That in the Institute of Petroleum, the hyena has, because the hyenas are, no, please, what is the money needed? We shall look for the money, because we don't have many oil projects. We have got one oil project. Yes. So how can this be an issue to talk about, to lament? No. Now, secondly, the salaries. I think the salaries, you have had the war, you must have heard of the war I had with the teachers who were opposing my policy on prioritizing the scientists. So what are you saying, Ongodia? You are saying that the salary scales, because you pick teachers are mainly scientists. Has my policy not solved that, or what? What is the issue? Go and help me there. Because we established new scales for all government scientists, and I imagine these are also part of it. What is the issue?
Thank you, Excellency. We have done some studies with, for example, IFE, that was our training partner. And they say globally, institutions like these are paid slightly than other civil servants, but they should not be paid to the level of the oil companies. But of course, the skills that the oil companies require are the same skills my staff have. So there is now competition of skill. I either pay them well to appropriate a certain level commensurate to what the industry pays.
That one can be done. That one is not a big issue. So the government scales are still a bit lower.
They're still a bit low, yeah.
Even for the scientists.
Yes, for The scientists, I think, I don't want to say they are low, but for the talent that we have, the rates are slightly higher.
Who's
the oil and these are specialist trades. For example, I have people who are training technicians for the refinery. They have equally gone to institution like they have gotten masters in refinery operations. So when there is an opportunity in Total for a refinery person, and Total is paying maybe around $10,000, there would be opportunity cost for somebody to either stay here or go to Total. So it's all about competition of skill.
That's no big problem. Thank you. Thank you. Sit down. Sit down. That one is again an issue of clarity, because we have got a very important school, which is a regional school called Soroti Flying School for training pilots. It was about to close because of the blindness of the planners. Because as Ongodia is saying, if you become a pilot on a jet engine, you go and you get a job in the airline, you'll be paid very high money. And we needed instructors on propeller engines, turboprop, and also jet engines at Soroti. And these people were trying to pay them small salaries, not remembering that this pilot can go and work as a pilot in the airline. So I said, what sort of blindness is this? That because the permanent secretary is not getting very high salary because what? Yes. If the permanent secretary is not a pilot, and we are looking for pilots now, and they are very scarce, so you pay our instructor pilots what they would have or near, because there could be some other advantages, pay our pilots, our instructor pilots at Soroti Flying School what they could have earned if they went to the airline. And that's how the school now continued. It was about to close. How can you have a flying school without pilots, with clerks and secretaries and cooks? We are looking for pilots, not cooks. If you want cooks, you go to Mbale Hotel or something like that. So this confusion of, and also what the Banyankore say, tuingane eturaha marwa. When people are drinking alcohol, they say onsinzaki ndimusajja nawe oli musajja. I am a man and you are also a man. How are you better than me? But when the alcohol goes away, you discover that the other man has got better skill than you have. So this one, tuingane, please, let's be guided by the market. If the market is giving some of our sons and daughters a higher price, let's pay them also for the departments. For the department, because we need them, we need the best. If this becomes, you are saying it is the only one in East Africa. And I'm not surprised because this Okuzukuka, waking up, we are the ones who started it here. When Shell BP I had been in government for, I think, 5 days. After capturing Kampala, then this Shell BP came to see me in Entebbe at night. They say, we have discovered petroleum in Lake Albert. I said, really? He said, yes. We want to sign an agreement with you. With me? I am a bushman. I don't know about petroleum. Unless you want to sign an agreement about cattle and guns, that one I can. But petroleum, I don't know. Let me find out. I called the people in the Ministry of Minerals. I think the minister was Changomacho. There was a PS called Opio. There was a commissioner called Sorombo Ijana. They came. I said, you people, do you know anything about petroleum? They say, yes, we have somebody who is an expert in petroleum. Who is he? He's in the Bank of Uganda. You bring him to me. They brought him to me. The man was from Ghana, Accra. He was an economist, and the only way he was near petroleum was that he was the one who was handling import papers of petroleum in Uganda. Can you imagine how backward Africans were? This was the expert. This was the expert in the whole country. At that time, you were 50, I think you were 14 million that time. The only one who knew something about petroleum was a civil servant, an economist who was handling import papers on petroleum. I said no. I called Shell BP back. I said, I cannot sign an agreement with you because I have nobody on my side who knows anything about petroleum. Go away. The petroleum has been there for 2 million years. It can stay for another 2 million until we get people who know what to do. So that's when I called the minister Changomacho and the PS Opio and said, now you look for these Ugandans, young Ugandans, who have qualified in physics, in geology, in chemistry. They go and study petroleum. These are the ones Ongodia was talking about, that he was in batch number 3. I think the first batch where the Kabagame was in that one. The first batch was the second one. The first one, Kabagambe Karisa. And another man called Kashambuz. Where was Kashambuz? The same group? So we are the ones, you can imagine, we are the ones in Africa who started this one of having Africans being trained in petroleum. So when they came back, I called back Shell BP. BP, come, I can now negotiate with you. This was like 89, after 3 years. Shell BP said, no, we are no longer interested. Can you imagine? They wanted to negotiate with Atarkumanya Charkukora. So they went away. So I told these people, I said, now I've trained you, you look for the oil yourselves now. They are the ones who found the oil, these ones here. And when they found it, they saw where it was, here, there. They came and showed me on the computer. You think there is oil here with it? That's how they started looking now for these companies, because we didn't have the money to dig. That digging cost some money. So because we didn't have the money to dig that time, that's how we called the companies. You come and dig here. Come and, but already we knew what was where. So if you have got that history of Oktembura, abatembuzi nibamanya, abatembuzi, to pioneer. Let's now pioneer in the education here by having a world-class petroleum training center. And later on, you can add other aspects of energy, like Ongodia was saying, like renewable, the solar, the wind, and all that, the biogas. You can add them on later. So please, let's get the full plan. We shall support it because it is unique. It's unique. You cannot compare it with external travel, allowances inside Uganda. We can freeze all those, and we do this as we have done for other things. But more hostels, erratic power. Now, for the borehole water, I think we have to work with the Ministry of Water. It can't be just done by the Institute only. You go on with the boreholes, but I'm also going to take it up to see whether we cannot get more water from either the River Nile, which is the nearest water body here, the River Nile, or what? Which is the nearest? Kigumba. The River Nile. Huh? Nkaha? Lake Choga. Lake Choga is the same as the Nile. They are together. It's not very far. We need to get piped water from the River Nile for the Kigumba area, because the Kigumba area is now becoming an important center. Murabe mbele n'umunywa amezi ga Nayikondo hati twino okube mucyaho mugenda haga pipe agembe dumo. I will make this a priority through the Ministry of Water now, not through, so that Kigumba gets water, Kigumba town, and maybe the district also, and you people also get from there. So this may take some 2-3 years, but we shall work on it also, but through the Ministry of Water. But in the meantime, you can keep on struggling with the boreholes, with the, I don't know, can you make a dam? A surface dam somewhere near here? Because you can have a dam where I will involve the people of water. They will have a short-term plan and a medium-term plan for you. Now, for the circle of the college, I had been tempted to put 200 million shillings in it, but my temptation evaporated when the director cried that he has no bus and no minibus. So I said, let me get these people a bus and a minibus and 50 million in the circle. These ones I will get from State House straight away. Now, for the other issue of the students, graduates, I think that one, the PS needs to study it. The graduates from the industrial hub of State House who are now here, I don't want to, you study it and see how it is. Now, for the district, I have heard the issues of the chairperson. If you could put those issues in a memorandum, then you give it to my staff if they are here. Who is here? Because Kiryandongo Hospital being upgraded, the ranch number 11, must in Portland communicate with the chairperson so that you get what she was saying in a consolidated form. Why isn't Rai using the land for sugar? What is the problem? Chairperson. Okay, we shall find it out. Thank you. Now, finally, LC1. LC1 now abere nachura na agamba nti okugenda habigere kumujwahize okuyachana na Musanju omusajja n'agenda omusajja n'arubata ate omusajja atandetera ebisiraani omusajja ogwo kamuhe milioni 5 hata agenda agula akapikipiki. Kale mwebale muno. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that address and your generosity. And now you understand why Ugandans love you. Very magnanimous leader. And thank you, Mama Janet, for what you have done for the skilling sector and your passion for TVET. It's tangible and everyone knows it. We are going to have the anthems sung in reverse order. Then we have the photo sessions guided by the protocol team. And then after the photo sessions, the chief guests and Mama Janet are free to depart. So let's have the anthems in reverse order. Thank you. Protocol guide on the photos. We are beginning with Group 1, Ministry of Education and the Project Coordination Unit. We read out your names and also the ministers present. You're going to accompany First Lady, Minister of Education and Sports in that group's photo session. Minister of Education, you had the names. It's a big group, so we could not have everyone participate in the photo, but we read out your names. And then the group of UPIC, the Governing Council and Senior Management, please be ready. The Governing Council of UPIC and the senior management, get ready for the next session. Just remain where you are. You'll be picked by the protocol team. Don't move to the ground yet. On behalf of the organizing committee, we want to appreciate all the speakers for keeping time. Thank you so much for keeping time. We really appreciate it, so that you let the chief guests and First Lady depart in time. Thank you. Madam Harriet
UBC, inspiring Uganda.